Levels matter in a world dominated by the power of hunters. Sung Jinwoo was originally a weak hunter with rank E, or can be referred to as the hunter with the weakest rank, and is often referred to as the weakest hunter. However, his life changed drastically after surviving the double dungeon and receiving the power of a player. Sung Jinwoo began to level up by undergoing various quests and challenges from the system. After defeating Igris in the dungeon, Sung Jinwoo gained the skill to use the power of shadows. This skill, called Shadow Extraction, allows him to resurrect the enemies he has defeated as a shadow army under his control. The entire shadow army resurrected by Sung Jinwoo are monsters from the dungeon with various levels of power. The surprising thing is that not only monsters can be resurrected, it turns out that humans can also be resurrected using shadow extraction. Although from the human side it looks taboo, there are 4 people who have been resurrected by Sung Jinwoo, and even became one of his main shadow armies. The 4th person who was resurrected was very unpredictable. So let's see who are the humans who have been resurrected by Sung Jinwoo. The first is Iron. Iron is Sung Jinwoo's first shadow army that was resurrected from a human body. The human named Kim Chul. Before becoming part of the Shadow Army, Kim Chul was one of the rank A hunter with the strongest tanker role. He is a leading member of the White Tiger Guild. However, he had an arrogant nature which was the main cause of his death. Kim Chul first met Sung Jinwoo in a raid dungeon, where the dungeon suddenly turned into a very dangerous red duangan. Because of its danger, the master of the White Tiger Guild had to catch up with him. In the dungeon, Kim Chul planned to divide the 2 groups to split up in the red dungeon. But Kim Chul chose his own group section with people who were considered strong enough, and did not accept low-level hunters including Sung Jinwoo. Kim Chul thinks they will be a burden while cleaning the red dungeon. Unfortunately for Kim Chul's group, they were overwhelmed by the savage monsters in the red dungeon. Even all of his team members were defeated. And the peak they met with the Ice Elves monster, the ruler of the red dungeon. All of Kim Chul's members died in their hands. When Kim Chul escaped alone in a terrible state, he met a group of Sung Jinwoo who were relaxing without experiencing any difficulties. Kim Chul got angry and was about to attack them. Luckily the Sung Jinwoo came and knocked Kim Chul unconscious. At that time a group of Ice Elves who finished off Kim Chul's group came to Sung Jinwoo. The battle between the Ice Elves and Sung Jinwoo was inevitable. During the fight, Kim Chul woke up from his stupor. He immediately pulled out his sword and attacked Sung Jinwoo who was fighting. But Sung Jinwoo had predicted that and called Igris to kill Kim Chul. During the battle, Sung Jinwoo found it difficult to defeat the boss Ice Elves even though he fought with Igris. He needed additional strength that could help him. It was then that Sung Jinwoo resurrected Kim Chul as the first shadow army that came from human bodies. The shadow that was raised from Kim Chul's body has great strength because it comes from a high-rank hunter. Because from the beginning he was a hunter with a tank role, he rose with a large sword and shield in his hand, and has a taunt skill typical of a tanker. He was named Iron because of the same meaning as the name Chul. When he becomes a shadow, Iron actually has a silly nature, inversely proportional to Kim Chul. With the presence of additional new powers, Sung Jinwoo can defeat boss Ice Elves easily. The second is Min Byong-gu. Min Byong-gu is an S-rank hunter from Korea with a healer type. Min Byong-gu has a number of extraordinary skills, like when the raid on Jeju Island was being invaded by ant monsters. He can give buffs to his teammates at once. Even the buff given is adjusted to the type of each hunter. In addition to buff skills for team strength, Min Byong-gu can also heal his teammates instantly. Even when Ma Dong-wak's 2 hands are broken, he can be restored instantly. Not only skills for his teammates, Min Byong-gu also has a skill called camouflage. This skill can hide itself and its existence. However, this skill does not work when facing ant monsters that have the sharp instincts of an insect. In the end, Min Byong-gu was stabbed from behind by the monster and died in a terrible way. His head was eaten by the monster. All the team members who were there were shocked and surprised by what happened. As a result of Min Byong-gu's death, the Jeju raid team was in trouble. When they were getting helpless, the Sung Jinwoo shadows appeared to help them. From here the battle between Sung Jinwoo and the ant monster began. After the fierce battle was over and won by Sung Jinwoo, Cha Hae-in's condition was getting critical after previously fainting while receiving an attack from the ant monster. Sung Jinwoo thought hard to cure Cha Hae-in. The only way is to use a top-class healer. It was at this moment that Sung Jinwoo performed shadow extraction on humans for the second time. He resurrected the body of Min Byong-gu who had lost his head. When successfully resurrected, Min Byong-gu's shadow still has extraordinary healing powers. With his healing skills, Cha Hae-in was saved from a critical condition. But unfortunately, Min Byong-gu's shadow was cancelled due to the request of his close friend. If only it hadn't been cancelled, Min Byong-gu's shadow would have been an extraordinary additional power with its buff and healing skills. The third human to be resurrected and become Sung Jinwoo's shadow army is Hwang Dong-soo. Initially he was just a hunter with ordinary abilities from South Korea. But in the manhwa it is told that Hwang Dong-soo received a skill upgrade from Norma Selner and became a rank S hunter, so that he is currently a hunter of the United States, in return for being given power. And he became a member of the strongest guild in the United States, Scavenger. When Sung Jinwoo finished dealing with Kamish's body, he was informed by his bodyguard from the Hunter Association that Yoo Jin-ho had disappeared. The last information was that Yoo Jin-ho was picked up by a representative of Scavenger to be escorted to the inn, but their communication was cut off after that. It turns out that Yoo Jin-ho was kidnapped by Hwang Dong-soo to an abandoned building. The purpose of Hwang Dong-soo kidnapping Yoo Jin-ho is to dig up information about his brother's death. Because Yoo Jin-ho insisted on not answering, he was beaten to death. This was known by Sung Jinwoo and made him furious. A one-sided fight ensued. Sung Jinwoo beat Hwang Dong-soo mercilessly. As the fight progressed, the Scavenger members came to Sung Jinwoo, even their guild leader, the strongest hunter in the United States, Thomas Andre, came to help Hwang Dong-soo. But Sung Jinwoo did not want to let go of Hwang Dong-soo and was intent on killing him. The battle between Sung Jinwoo and the Shadow Army against Thomas Andre and his Scavenger Guild was inevitable. After the fierce battle ended with Sung Jinwoo's unilateral victory, he suddenly disappeared without a trace, and Hwang Dong-soo was found lifeless. It is at this moment that it is shown that Hwang Dong-soo has been resurrected as one of the Shadow Army. Because it comes from the body of a rank S hunter, when it is resurrected it becomes a shadow that is at a high level. The shadow of Hwang Dong-soo was named Greed, taken from his nature when he was still human. The fourth human resurrected by Sung Jinwoo this time has nothing to do with fighting. This moment is told in the series' solo leveling special chapter. After Sung Jinwoo lived a second life as a monarch, he lived a life like a human in general. There are no hunters, no monsters, no chaos like the previous life. At that time Sung Jinwoo worked as a police detective. While at the office, there were two parents who were at odds over the death of their daughter. They accused each other of being the cause of their children committing suicide. Seeing this, Sung Jinwoo took the initiative to investigate the case. Then he went to the scene. In the bathroom there are still bloodstains and the body of the woman who committed suicide. Without bothering to look for evidence, Sung Jinwoo immediately raised the woman's body to ask why she committed suicide. And it was revealed that the reason she committed suicide was because of intimidation by her stepfather. Those are the four humans who have been resurrected by Sung Jinwoo using shadow extraction. Even two of them became a shadow army that has extraordinary powers. If you have the power of shadow extraction, who would you like to resurrect?